What is up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. Today we're getting back into the 2021 potential legends in MLB The Show. Now, again, these are just guesses, desires, things I'm hoping that we see. Obviously, we won't get all of them. Just some fun names for every team that I feel like are interesting to kind of bat around. And, of course, you can leave ones that you want in the chat for each team in question. We finished the AL East. So now we're on to the AL Central, which means it's Chicago White Sox time. So start thinking about your names there because, again, I'm doing this one straight to YouTube, so none of the Twitch chat's going to get your names. Don't let those little Twitchsters get all the good names. I realize there's a lot of crossover between the two, so I might be insulting some of y'all while also trying to hype y'all up, but just pretend it's all positive. Let's get in right away and start with Mr. Magno Ordonez. Now, you may have thought that I would put him into the Detroit realm here, but two things. One, just a little heads up, I'm doing 2 Detroit episodes because it's my favorite team, and I could do that. Or maybe I'll do all 12 in one episode. I'm not sure exactly which way I'm going to go yet, but either way, there's going to be 12 Tigers. And so I already had enough Tigers to leave Magno over here. Plus, he really established himself as a White Sox and then got hurt. Tigers took a chance on him, and he continued to be great. So I want to highlight Magno Ordonez as a Chicago White Sox. You look at that 2001 season, I mean, that's a transcendent kind of season that's going to play so well. And if he has a good swing in the game, that's the kind of gold card that, people maybe wouldn't inherently use because they're using, Stan Musial or Christian Yelich or whomever at the very tip top. But then he'll have his stands where it's like, oh, do you use Magno, dude? He's so much better than freaking Stan Musial or something. He hit 305, 382, 533 with 31 homers, 40 doubles. So power like crazy, contact in that 305 average, disciplined in the fact that he's got almost an 80-point split between the average and OBP, 25 stolen bases as well, so a little speed. You guys don't remember, Magno could run. Magno was an all categories kind of guy for a few years there, plus 11 assists in the outfield, meaning that he's going to have a strong arm there. So there's just so much to like with what Magno Ordonez could possibly do for you that I think having his card in the game would be great. Plus, they can bring out a Detroit Diamond from the 2007 season when he hit 363, 434, 598, 28 homers. He led the major leagues in average and doubles, 54 on the doubles, 363 there with the batting average. Contact crazy, power not crazy because you see 28 homers, but the 54 doubles are there. It should be, solid usable power. And then the defense would take a hit there. It wouldn't be quite as good. This would be more of a left field type of card or a bench type of bat there for your superstar team. But I think Magno cards have a chance to play really well. Excellent bat, good splits, good plate skills, solid arm, speed when he was younger. You're talking diamond, gold, and silver. I don't think he was ever really a bronze. I think you're really just looking at the top 3 tiers there with Magno Ordonez cards. Let's move over to the next one, Robin Ventura, a staple. I'm sure you guys realized that he would be in this one for sure. And since we already have Nolan, we could recreate something. I mean, if you know, you know. It's not really Ventura's finest moment. Hey, props to him for even going out there to take on Nolan. It doesn't seem like he really wants to, but apparently a message needed to be sent that they weren't going to take it anymore. And Nolan said, yes, you absolutely are. Come get this headlock and these punches. But anyway, Robin Ventura did a lot of good, including 1996 when he hit 287, 368, 520 with 34 homers, an even strikeout to walk ratio, and an even 888 OPS against righties and lefties. Dead even. That really blew me away. I really like that. So same exact splits. Actually, the splits could be different. Again, OPS is OBP and slugging. So the batting averages, I should have checked those, could be a little bit different, which would yield different contact and power metric. Well, just contact. So it might not be dead equal, but either way, it's going to be a balanced card. 13th in WAR with the White Sox from 90 to 98. Plus glove, even strikeouts to walks. 116 WRC plus, that's 16% better than league average. Plus, he had great seasons with both New York teams, the Mets and the Yankees, that you could throw in there. You're talking diamond, gold, silver, bronze potential, and I feel like low-key BR stud. I know I've pointed this out for a handful of guys. I'm going to continue to do it because you just get that certain vibe with certain players. You could see a silver card that has good defense and maybe, 70s across the board kind of situation. Not his best card, but you drafted him BR as either a low gold or high silver, and you're like, oh, this card's amazing. Actually, 70s across the board with good defense. That would be a gold. That would actually be like the gold Matt Williams card, which, by the way, is incredible. So that's what I was kind of thinking there. But yeah, Robin Ventura, I think, would be a great addition. He goes across 3 different teams. Lots of card potential, too. Next up is Nellie Fox. We're throwing it back into the 50s here with Nellie. 1957 was his best season. 317, 403, 415. Now, you notice that slug and average are really close together there, 98 points, meaning there's not a lot of power, but a 2% strikeout rate and a 10% walk rate. He was 6th in WAR without power, which is pretty impressive, which tells you that what he was doing with his contact skills, getting on base, and his glove was particularly exceptional to be that high in WAR, because he didn't really hit for any punch. So you're talking about a guy with insane contact skill. He had a 2% career strikeout rate. That's insane. He was first in baseball from 1949 through 1965. He also had an MVP season in 1959. I thought the 1957 season was better as far as an MLB The Show card, though. 12 All-Stars. He was a 5-time American League hit leader, 3 Gold Gloves, Diamond, Silver, Bronze potential. There's not really a gold. I think they kind of gas up one season to make it a diamond, and then everything else is kind of in that silver realm there, depending on how good the defense is. Maybe there would be a gold card where the defense is kind of OP, but it would be one of those ones that you don't love as much because of what it offers. It reminds me a little bit of like the gold Ozzie Smith. You'd just rather it be a silver. Being that extra tier there means you're not going to draft it in BR. You're not going to really want to use it in like a tournament where you have limits on cards. So I think diamond and silver are really his wheelhouse there. If you like those uber contact guys with great gloves, that 1 diamond card that they could create for him, or maybe 2, maybe the MVP as well. But then the rest of his career is filled with a lot of silver and even some bronze potential there. Nellie Fox, interesting card. Next up is Alex Fernandez. I was a big fan of him in the 90s, growing up. Just a really good pitcher. And, I've talked about on my Twitch chat how I was in a 10-team AL only league. That was my first fantasy baseball league. So we just used the American League. We lived in Detroit, that Detroit Tigers, and so that's all we focused on. And my mom had Alex Fernandez on her team, and before I got in the league, when my mom, dad, and then I were eventually in the league together, but when it was just those two, I would cheer for my mom's team more. So I started to develop an affinity for her players. Sorry, Dad. There was nothing against you. I just wanted my mom to win. And she was really good at fantasy. She really paid attention, really enjoyed it. Alex Fernandez was her boy. He delivered some really strong seasons for her, including 1996, 3.45 ERA, 124 WHIP, 119 strikeout percentage plus, 19% better than league average, and a 70 BB percentage plus. Again, just to give the quick walkthrough on, really, I think everyone gets the K percentage plus, the higher the better. But with the walk percentage plus, the lower is the better. So he was 30% better than league average at suppressing walks. That's really good. So you're going to have a high BB9, decent K9, decent hit 9, 258 innings. That's going to deliver some nice stamina. Lots to work with there with that 1996 season for Alex Fernandez. Fastball, curveball, slider, changeup. Nice 4-pitch arsenal. They're kind of the standard 4 pitches, but that'll definitely play. And then you got the strong 1999 season with Miami. Tough part about Alex Fernandez is that injuries ruined him, and he was toast at like 30, 31. I think 30 was his last season, and then he never pitched again. Injuries ravaged him that much. I don't know. The 90s, to me, as somebody who's old, don't feel that long ago, but they're a good while ago now, and things have progressed enough. And now I didn't read up enough on his injuries to know if maybe today's medicine would have helped him go a bit further, or exactly what it was. I want to say he had a labrum issue, but I'm talking out of school there perhaps because I don't remember exactly. But Alex Fernandez was a really good pitcher. It'd be fun to kind of see him in the game. He'd be one of those mid-tier guys, but I think he could have some fun cards in there. Next up is Lance Johnson. This is a personal fave. One Dog was his nickname. He wore number 1. And just kind of your prototypical 80s, 90s leadoff hitter where he was super speedy, center fielder, just smack the ball around and run. And you look at his 1996 season and he went off. 333, 362, 478 with 21 triples. 21 triples. 9 homers, 50 stolen bases, and first in hits with 227. Now, The thing of it is I think the 21 triples would help boost his power a little bit. Obviously, speed is a component in triples, but you have to hit the ball pretty hard a lot of the time, especially if you're going to get 21. So even though he only had 9 homers, I think they could juice the power up a little to compensate for those triples as well. Plus the 50 stolen bases, strong defense out there in center field. He dominated the major leagues with 83 triples from 1991 to 96. That's 28 more than Steve Finley over that time, who finished second. So I mean, this is a prototypical card. You're talking about a contact speedster with quality defense in center field. It's that Kenny Lofton kind of vibe, and Kenny Lofton, even though power is the meta in MLB The Show, Kenny Lofton cards slap. They just always do. And I think Lance Johnson would have cards like that could definitely slap too. Interesting thing about he and Ventura, they both have some really good seasons on the Mets. So that'd be another one for the Mets there. If Ventura and Johnson came in, they would not only go well with the White Sox, but also with the Mets. So I'd love to see One Dog in. He's just a fun player. And, you know, as they expand the legend community, I think guys like Lance Johnson are ones that they could bring into the fray. And then the last one might trigger some of y'all. I'm just being honest. It's Wilbur Wood. And first things first. I'm just going to put it out there because it's not in the notes. And if you don't know who he is, you might not know why I'm interested in possibly seeing him here. He was a knuckleballer. And he would create some pretty devastating cards. You look at that 1968 season. Now, that was the year of the pitcher. So that 187 ERA, while it is excellent, no matter what, even in the year of the pitcher, it's not quite as gaudy as it would be, say, today. It's still gaudy, but not quite as gaudy. 101 whip, though, 74% strikeout plus rate. Now, that's not good. So it's going to be a low K9, but it's going to be a super massive BB9. And it was 159 innings as a reliever. So the stamina's tuned up. He's a knuckleballer, and he has great BB9 in control. So he's putting the knuckleball wherever you want it. I mean, as much as you can, right? The point of the knuckleball is that you don't know where it's going. So, yeah, he doesn't have a great K9, but it's a decent, it's a good hit 9, good BB 9. So the PCI is not going to be that big, and the knuckleball is going to be moving all over the place. And it's a reliever who should probably have like a 50-something stamina. It'd be so OP. People would be so pissed at that card, and it would just make me laugh. 1971 and 72, he combined for 711 innings of a 2.23 ERA, 103 whip, 99% strikeout rate plus. So he's like right there. You can give him something in like the low 70s range there, but then another great BB9 because he'd be at 57%. Again, that's 43% better than league average. That's huge. So that's a giant BB9 rating, and really driving his card. And of course, stamina was always there as rubber arm knuckleballer. Wilbur Wood was throwing a ton. I mean, 7-11, you can already tell that between 2 seasons, that's a boatload of innings in each year. Diamond, gold, silver, bronze potential, SP, RP, you can really maneuver around if they get somebody like Wilbur Wood in. Now, listen, they have spared us Phil Niekro the last couple years, right? And a lot of people thank him for that.
Bob, no Phil Niekro.
And they really have said that he is in the game because he's in the front page. We know that Phil Niekro's in the game, and yet they've spared us of him in Diamond Dynasty, much to the delight of most folks in the community. And listen, that's fine. I get it. Knuckleballers can be cheesy and OP for sure. I'm okay with high caliber knuckleballers. It's, you know, if someone wants to use it, that's fine. If it's R.A. Dickey, Phil Niekro, Luis Tiant, Wilbur Wood, Tom Candiotti, Tim Wakefield, fine. That's fine. It's a high-level card. Where I start to get where I start to have a problem with it and start to think like, okay, you're just kind of cheesing is like using Ryan Fearband and Stephen Wright in ranked seasons, you know, like I'm in my 850 level game and somebody brings those guys out. It's like, okay, you're just straight cheesing, and like, okay, fine. But you got to try not to get mad at that and actually buckle down and hit those pitches, because knuckleballs are more hittable this year. They can still really trip you up if you let them, but they can be hit, especially on those crappy commons. And we didn't really have anybody who was good, like an actual good card with a knuckleball this year. Wilbur Wood, I really do think he'd be a fun addition, though. I'm ready for another knuckleball to come through at the high level. Again, I don't want these low tier cards that are just cheese cards. I want something hard that it's difficult to get. It's a diamond card, and you have to earn it. And then if you earn it, fine. Go ahead and use your little cheesy knuckleballer against me, and hopefully I can figure some things out. I mean, I tried that R.A. Dickey quite a bunch when it was out. That premium one, what was it, 2-3 years ago now? And I'll tell you what, man, I stunk with him. I couldn't even be cheesy when I wanted to, which was fine. I gave it my shot and didn't work. I did like the Luis Tiant over the years, and Phil Niekro up and down success. That reliever Phil Niekro, the bronze one, that was cheese city. That one was tough. But hey, we've been spared a couple of years. It's time to bring back knuckleballers. Wilbur Wood would fit the bill. So Magno Ordonez, Robin Ventura, Nellie Fox, Alex Fernandez, Lance Johnson, Wilbur Wood. There's my 6. Who you got from the White Sox that you'd love to see as a legend in the game? We've got some great ones already. Frank Thomas, Paul Konerko, they're 2 dominant first basemen. You know, one I will trump you a little bit there in the comments. I'm sure somebody will bring this up because of the card he had when he was an active player. But I'd love to see Alex Rios. I think somebody actually mentioned him for Toronto, which is where he spent most of his career. But then he went to the White Sox and did some really good work. And he had a flashback card one year that was one of my absolute favorite cards ever. So while if I was going to use him, I'd probably count him under Toronto. But that doesn't matter. Just because you're counting him under one team doesn't mean he can't get cards for the other team. So I'd love to see that White Sox Alex Rios card return. But who would you like to see? Leave a comment down below, hit a like, hit a subscribe. We still have tons of teams to run through. These are going to be coming out a lot more frequently. I'll be running some on my Twitch stream, twitch.tv/sports, so come out and check that out. And thanks for watching. Peace.